We are at the Helotes Elementary School, the home of the Bulldogs. Of course, we're getting down with the Helotes Elementary School. We're going to talk to the principal hopefully later on and getting ready for this back to school energy. I got so much more coming up with the excitement happening across most districts here on the back to school.
And over here in Southwest ISD, they are getting ready to head back in style. Over here checking out all the buses going on. Are you guys excited? All right, stick with us on GMSA. We're going to tell you about all the best things to do right before that first school bell rings.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Fantastic stuff.
Yes.
I wasn't ready.
Still waking back to school day.
I wasn't ready for the glow sticks.
Glow sticks, and man, that's
yeah. You got to get the kids fired up as we get set for back to school. 2 of our 3 kind of bigger school districts in the area here, but this entire week we're going to be all over all of your back to school coverage.
The kids are probably salty that they're getting up right now watching us, and I'm sorry you have to watch us this early. Yeah. It just is what it is. Yes, it is early. It is back to school, and I'll tell you this, it's certainly shorts and t-shirt, which it absolutely will be for the next probably couple of months. But here's what you do need to know. There's a chance for a shower or 2 this afternoon. We have rain chances at about 20% here in San Antonio. Right now it's 79, feels like 82. We'll have heat index most of the day. And most of our reporting sites are in the 70s this morning. Few clouds out there. It's going to be a humid start. So your back to school forecast, 95 at 2 o'clock, 98 is your high temperature. That will feel like, though, 101, maybe even 102 for a couple of hours this afternoon. And then you'll notice the 20% chance of rain. It'll be very hit or miss, splash and dash type stuff. I don't think there'll be a ton on the radar, but just know it's a possibility. After school practices or, driving home from school or just your evening commute, you may encounter one of these quick showers. And they'll be around most of the week. The same exact setup brings rain chances each and every day this work week. Between 2 and 8 p.m., I'd say would be kind of the most likely hours. Spotty downpours, brief but heavy rainfall, maybe some gusty winds. It can't completely rule out some small hail with some of the heavier showers and storms. We are going to show you the computer models behind this, what we're kind of looking at this afternoon, and more on the looking ahead to the weekend, too, in just a bit. Let's go over to RJ now. Traffic's going to be a big topic of conversation this morning.
It is, Justin, and we are expected to see a lot more cars on the roads, a lot more people, including school buses as well. We'll kind of focus on some school bus safety throughout the rest of Good Morning San Antonio. But let's start right here, east side of town. We still have this one particular incident right here at South Cross Boulevard. It's not on 410, but as we saw earlier, it looks like it may cause a little bit of an issue with some of our folks making their way through the east side right now, specifically through WW-10 South Cross Boulevard. Unfortunately, our camera kind of got a little bit frozen there. That's our TransGuide traffic camera. Northeast side of town, they are, for the most part, moving along pretty good. So this is definitely a good side to see for all of our drivers along 1604 and 35. No major issues right now on the northeast side after a busy weekend with some construction in that area. Everything else across the city is looking pretty good, but we'll keep an eye on the situation specifically right here over by Helotes, Leon Valley. We do have some changes taking place at Marshall High School that we'll talk about in just a little bit. 281 Northeast ISD, that's going to be very busy along 1604. Many places along Stone Oak as we get a lot of our high schools back. Johnson, Reagan, Mack, Madison along that one stretch from 281 to 1604. So of course, we're going to be covering it all for you, give you more updates as we get them. Let's go to Alex right now in Drive Cam and see how things are looking on this back to school Monday. What's up, Alex?
RJ, good morning and happy Monday. And it's back to school Monday. So far this past hour, I haven't seen too many major slowdowns on the highways. The highways have been pretty much up to speed, but I'm still driving around. I'm going to give you those traffic updates as they happen on this back to school Monday. RJ?
Okay, thank you very much, Alex. And I'm sure that Alex may run into a lot more folks on this Monday morning. Ernie?
All right, well, Japhanie Gray is out in the field this morning as different districts, as we said, are kicking off the new school year.
All right, so she has made it to Helotes Elementary, and we saw earlier that Jaff was hanging out with some of the bus drivers, and it looks like she was in the front of the school. Of course, Helotes part of Northside ISD, so let's go to her right now and checking on with things with her. Jaff, how are we looking out there?
Yeah, no, it was a big fun, man. I loved out there speaking with the bus drivers, seeing their excitement. And as you can kind of sense from talking to them, they were so passionate about being able to have that position of getting these kids to and from the schools in a safe way. Safety definitely top of priority. They mentioned, first of all, it got the air conditioning system in there. That was just phenomenal. Big difference from being out here in the front right now. I'm at the elementary school. But back to the safety aspect of it, they have seat belts. They got the car seats for the smaller kiddos. They talked about the alarms on the doors and stuff. So just seeing that gives that extra layer of comfort to our families and our parents out there, knowing that their kids need to get to and from school in a safe manner. Now, again, so many different districts are starting today. Northside ISD, not the only one. Let's take a look at some of the other districts that are starting as well. Again, we have Northeast ISD. We're going to talk about them here shortly. Then on Tuesday, we got a lot of outlying schools going back to class, including Floresville, Pleasanton, Poteet, so much more. And throughout the rest of next week, most other area school districts welcoming students back to the classroom as well. And then that next week after that, few more head back, including New Braunfels, Somerset, Edgewood ISDs. Again, we got that whole complete list on our website at KSAT.com. You can check it out, see when you could get your schools flashing across the screen. And again, we're going to be doing a lot of cool back to school coverage throughout this early portion of the school year. I do want to talk about this, okay? So again, I'm at Northside ISD, but Northeast ISD also starting back, and we got to talk about how they are gearing up their kids in their early college program. Thousands of kids, again, soon will be in their classrooms, in their seats. Last hour, I told you about Northeast ISD's early college program called their MacArthur United School, and they're going into their second year. So at this time, they have about 300 students. They have 150 of their freshmen coming in, but they also have 150 sophomores that went through the program last year. Super excited, taking courses in education or business. Well, I'm going to introduce you right now to one of their 10th grade students taking a course in education. Her name is Isabella Salazar.
I was very nervous. I wasn't sure what to expect. I wasn't sure how the teachers were going to be, but it's an amazing program, and it's very welcoming, and it's a very loving and caring environment, and it feels like a family.
So you said that you entered for the interest of the education, correct?
Well, it's a lot harder than it seems. Teachers go through a lot, and towards the end of the school year, we were able to create lesson plans and really see what that's like. And it takes a lot of work. You have to really think about different ways students learn, how long it might take, because not every student learns the same. So you really have to make sure that there's a variety of ways for students to be able to interact with the activity.
How does it feel knowing by the time you do graduate, you're going to be set up to possibly walk right into a classroom if you wanted to?
Feels unreal. It's crazy to think that I'll be graduating with an associate's before graduating high school. It's amazing. Yeah, so a lot of excitement just in Isabella alone, who is encouraging all her classmates to just go in, take your opportunities, and tackle them. So she and her classmates, by the time they graduate, they're going to have 60 college hours and an associate's degree, and for her it'll be an associate's degree in education. If you guys are interested in checking out this program for yourselves, maybe you're interested for next year, I got the information on our website at KSAT.com. But again, we're not the only district that is starting back. Again, you saw Devin Carp, his excitement going on, getting a crowd going over there at Southwest ISD. Devin, how things are going your way?
Good morning, Jeff. We're having a great Monday morning out here over at the bus barn, watching all these drivers get out of here. Check out that long line of everybody prepped. I know they've been out here getting ready to take the students here to one of the 18 campuses they've got across the district right now. They said this theme this year, look at this. I've been working on my sign twirling skills. I don't know if they'll come across that well on air, but we've got Southwest ISD where heroes rise. They say they've got heroes working here, and they get heroes to rise through the classroom. Some pretty great stuff here with the education. I know a lot of kids may not be super pumped for that early morning alarm clock going off this morning, but everyone here, the teachers, the staff across the district are going to do the best they can to make sure that you get an excited way in. There we are, we're getting the send-off with the nice glow sticks. Great energy going on there from a lot of the district staff. We're going to be speaking with them later on coming up this morning, showing you exactly what they've got to look forward to for the rest of the school year here coming up for 25-26. All right, I'm going to work on my sign twirling skills. Maybe, okay, I don't know about lifting it up. All right, maybe we'll get some of this. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. This is what it's for. This is what it's all about, folks. All right, we'll be coming up later on here this morning on GMSA. Thanks for sticking with us. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
It's hard to do that with a microphone in your hand. So
don't hurt yourself.
Degree of difficulty is
just
higher.
day one.
Yeah, Devin, exactly. Pace yourself. All right. Well, the kiddos are back in school. Of course, as we've said, a lot of them will be heading back to school soon.
Along with the classroom supplies, families with athletes also have a list of things to get done.
Yeah, so in our next half hour, Patty Santos will tell us about one of them should be a physical exam in terms of things that athletes should do. Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death in young athletes, and in many cases, it's not recognized until it happens.
University Health pediatrician Benjamin Balderman says his office in the North Side has been pretty busy with back-to-school checkups. He reminds families whose children need asthma medicine or an EpiPen to get those refills before school starts back up. But he says even those kids who may be in tip-top shape need to get a health check before starting out a new sport.
There are some cardiac diseases that don't really present until a kid is full force in the action. And a lot of the time they have no previous cardiac history, never had shortness of breath, never had chest pain. And so one of the things we do in our sports physicals is we do a thorough exam of the heart, the lungs, everything that's really important. And one of the things we can listen for is listen to see if there is a subtle murmur that would indicate a reason to do further testing to prevent those tragedies.
All right, good information there from Dr. Balderman. There are clinics in our community that offer free or low-cost medical services for those people that qualify. You can reach out to Central Med, Communicare, and University Health. We also have all this information on KSAT.com.
Outside with live cam, it is 6:11, 79 degrees. Still dark out there. We've got some clouds. The sun will be up here in about 45 minutes or so. We're getting some of our high-resolution computer models on our rain chances this week. I'm going to show it to you and show you when you can expect maybe some rain in your backyard. That's coming up.
All right, coming up on 6:15 now, back to headlines you knew this morning. One person has died and 2 others are hurt after a family member shot them inside a West Side apartment. San Antonio police say a man shot his girlfriend, the mother of one of his children, and his oldest son in the head. He left in a pickup truck with his other 3 children. The victims are now hospitalized and police are investigating.
And later on this morning, Kerr County commissioners are set to meet today at 9 o'clock. On their agenda are items pertaining to the Hill Country floods, including discussing the official agreement between Kerr County and FEMA, the possibility of amending an existing contract with Waterway Engineering, also another engineering services as well related to the July 4th flooding, as well as discussing their budget for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. Okay, and we know that Kerrville, they go back to school this Wednesday on the 13th, and then you're going to be at Ingram, right?
Ingram, that's the plan, a week from today. So again, more first days of school to come in the coming days.
Absolutely, yes. We'll be covering all of that. Let's get you updated on the roads right now because things, for the most part, again, we'll cross our fingers, have been pretty quiet out there right now. Taking a look here at W.W. White over by South Cross, and we reported earlier, Alex Gomez did, that there was a crash in this one particular spot. It is causing a slight smaller power outage right now for our folks right here at South Cross and W.W. White. So keep that one in mind. As far as traffic on 410, we are, for the most part, moving along here. Let's take you to the northeast side of town where traffic is starting to move along. No major issues here for our folks on the northeast side right now. Let's check in right now with Alex Gomez in Drive Cam as he scans the streets on this first day back to school for Northside NEISD. Alex, what's up, man?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Well, no worries on construction delays on the north side. 1604 is going to be completely open in between 281 and I-10. And in the words of Billy Madison, my favorite Adam Sandler movie, it's back to school, back to school. I'll give you more traffic updates as they come in, RJ.
Okay, I didn't know where you were going to go with that, Alex. That's a good one, though. To prove to Dad that I'm not a fool. That's the next part of that.
Wow.
Justin?
See, you guys are so good at these. Well, you guys are so good at these movie quotes. That was well done. Spot on. Hey, we got to show you what's going on with the power outages, and you guys can chime in if you want, Ernie and RJ, if you know a little bit more about this. But looks like we have around 6,700 customers affected, and I think there's a couple spots that we're watching. This one is the one that RJ just talked about, and the one Alex is at, where they had some power outages there. But the bigger one is here on the northwest side. And that's where we have, I think, quite a few customers without power. We just sent out a push alert about that. And so we're kind of investigating what the cause is behind that. And we'll get you some more information as it gets to us. But not a great morning to not have power, I would imagine, as we're headed back to school. But again, more information to come. Forecast for today, 10 a.m., 84 degrees. And then as we get into the afternoon, we're going to call it partly cloudy, 90 at noontime, 95 at 2 o'clock. And it's at 2 o'clock that we start to bring in the rain chance. So 20%. It's not a huge rain chance, but it is there. And I think we're going to see some of those pop-up downpours start to take shape at this point. The atmosphere is available to see some of those clouds kind of build up into those showers and brief, what we call splash and dash type downpours. Again, it'll be few and far between, but they will be there. Let me show you the futurecast. By the time we get to around 6 o'clock, there we go. We got some of these showers going. Once we get to the 8, 9 o'clock hour, I think a lot of this starts to go away. This does show a heavier thunderstorm, which, by the way, is possible. You can see a brief heavy downpour. I just don't think they'll last very long. And certainly by 10 o'clock, a lot of this will be gone. Tomorrow, same thing. This is 3 o'clock. We got the pop-up downpours, and you'll need to be aware after-school practices, evening commute, all these things could be affected by some of this activity. And really, it's with us through the entire week. 20% chance Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday is kind of an interesting day, too. We're going to get some deeper moisture coming in from the Gulf, so that'll be something to watch. But right now, I'm going to leave rain chances at 20%. And as I said, between 2 and 8 p.m. is kind of our window that we need to be aware of. Brief but heavy. There could be some gusty winds involved with some of these showers and storms too. Outside right now, 79 degrees, 75 in New Braunfels, 78 at Converse. If you're headed out the door to go to the bus stop, it's warm, it's muggy. There's no rain out there right now. And the reason why we have rain chances during the afternoon is a little area of low pressure here along the coast. It's not very strong, but there's enough there to get some of this activity going. And high temperatures today, by the way, 98 here in San Antonio. There will be some triple digits in the normal hotspots, Carrizo Springs, Cotulla, down towards Laredo. Extended forecast, we'll go 97 tomorrow, 99 Wednesday, 99 Thursday. Again, 20% chance each and every day, although we bring the rain chances down as we head into the weekend, and we could be back into the triple digits by Sunday. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning has to do with the tropics, which we will get to next half hour. But my question to you is, a hurricane becomes a typhoon when it reverses its spin, crosses the equator, crosses the international dateline, or it strikes Asia. We got votes for all of them, but right now crossing the international dateline is winning. You can vote. Go to ksat.com/poll, scan the QR code, and we'll get you that answer in about half an hour. This does not happen often, but it was on this day that we actually had a storm develop that would do this. It's kind of an interesting thing. So we'll, again, bring you that answer here in about half an hour.
Okay, it's not going to help, but the name of the storm?
John.
Oh, okay.
That did not help. You're right. That didn't help. All right.
Didn't help at all.
621, 79 degrees outside. We'll be back.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a warning about counterfeit life jackets.
People buy something called a life jacket, but you can really end up getting a life jacket that is not going to provide the buoyancy and the life-saving that it needs.
The U.S. Coast Guard approves life jackets. The agency allows manufacturers to submit their products to certified testing labs to make sure that they meet certain specifications. If the jacket is approved, it will have a U.S. Coast Guard approved label and number listed. UL Solutions is one of only 2 labs in the world approved to test life jackets.
Our experience is that 30% of the flotation devices that are brought to our labs do not pass those initial tests.
And coming up at 7 a.m., I'm taking you inside the testing process. It's still on. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Okay, back to school means back to high school football in a matter of days. We here at KSAT 12 are gearing up for the 2025 KSAT Pigskin Classic.
All right, so this year we have got Sotomayor, the Wildcats, taking on the Clark Cougars. That is taking place August 28th at Ferris Stadium in NISD. A good old-fashioned district matchup right here. The game goes live from 7 o'clock to 10 p.m. on KSAT 12. So that's going to be on air. Also KSAT Plus, KSAT.com, and our one-stop shop for all your high school football needs, our BGC app. Again, before kickoff, our KSAT sports team will be live with KSAT Game Day, starting things off at 6:30 p.m. You do not want to miss this. The 4th annual KSAT Pigskin Classic. Here we go.
RJ's excited. He was going to run through a wall here.
I was,
We said,
yes.
Please don't mess up the set back here.
Give me a football.
Exactly. All right, more to come here. 626, 79 degrees outside.
Here we go. You hear that? That is an alarm clock, which means a lot of kiddos need to be waking up right now. We are live right here at the Helotes Elementary School. We're going to chit-chat with the principal. More than anything, talk about the safety measures that are going to be in store for this school year. Again, GMSA live from the road right here for this back-to-school season.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Another half hour here on this. Feels like it's going kind of fast here this morning.
Yes.
First day of school for a lot of kiddos.
I'm feeling the excitement for them.
The nerves.
The nerves.
A little bit of excitement as well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have a power outage that we've been following, though. We sent that out on the KSAT app a little while or so ago, and it's going to be affecting our residents on the near northwest side of town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have a map here, but it looks like the numbers have gone down a little bit, maybe?
Yes, it was at like, what, 6,000 a little while ago?
Right, yes. Customers affected. Mm-hmm.
So we're at 2,367. I know it's not the best morning for that, but it looks like CPS is working to get this fixed. So we'll keep you updated. That is the one power outage, really, that we have, one big one out there across the city of San Antonio. All right, sunrise this morning will be at 7 o'clock, sunset at 8:18. So we are about 30 minutes away from sunset, or sunrise, I should say, as the kiddos are headed to the bus stops. They're headed to school. Not a bad morning. It's just, kind of warm and muggy out there. You can see some of the clouds, indication that, yes, we have quite a bit of humidity. 79 degrees at the airport, 74 in New Braunfels, 78 Converse, a light southerly wind, feels like 82. And yeah, it's going to be a steamy one today. So for this morning, humid 78. This afternoon, here's what you need to know. 98 degrees, heat index will be 100 plus. So the heat's going to be kind of the concern number one. Concern number two will be a very small chance for downpour. It's only 20%, but a few of us could see a quick, brief downpour that could affect, your after school plans or maybe your evening commute. So we'll keep you posted there. Speaking of roads, let's get you out the door this morning. RJ, what do you got?
All right, thank you very much, Justin. Taking a look at your traffic authority. We'll kind of move through these maps here pretty quick. We are seeing some backups right here. This is going to be 90 coming into 1604, and that's going to be our traffic headed eastbound right now on Highway 90 for all of our folks headed in from Castroville. And still have that one incident here on the east side of town. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a little bit. But let's kind of zone in and kind of hone in on one specific spot. Keeping an eye on the situation out here. This is going to be 1604, 151. That's going to be Brennan High School, Taft High School. Those areas still seeing traffic moving along pretty smoothly. A little bit further down, 151 is where we're going to have Stevens and also Warren as well. So a lot of those north side schools in that one cluster. Expected to see a lot more traffic here. 410 WWY, we mentioned this one particular spot had a power outage here as well, much smaller than the one that we've seen on the near northwest side of town, but might affect part of your morning commute right there, WWY at South Cross. Northeast side of town, traffic is looking pretty good after some overnight construction. Hey, wanted to take you back to this one particular spot because Marshall High School, there is ongoing construction in the front of the building. So basically they have rerouted all of their buses to enter and exit on Huebner Road. That's going to be a little bit on this direction of Marshall, so a little bit to the east part where Marshall is, and that's going to be for student drop-off and pickup. Now, all personal vehicles, parents, anyone else, keep this in mind. And other traffic, you're going to have to use Eckert, so that's coming off of Bandera Road on the opposite side of Marshall High School. They do expect some heavier traffic there between mostly a class dismissal time, 3:30 to 5 p.m. But yes, an update for our folks, the Marshall Rams. Shout out to them. All right, let's head out with Alex Gomez. Shout out to him as well as he is keeping us covered on the roads and drive cam. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Well, the west side is improving. This past hour, we had construction on 151 eastbound near Penn Road. That has wrapped up for the 6 a.m. hours. So all lanes of 151 have reopened. Now more south of downtown. This is going to be 90 eastbound at I-35, where we are starting to slow down. So it's starting to get busy out here, RJ.
Thank you very much for that update, Alex, in DriveCam.
All right, back to school, and Gaffney Gray literally is going back to school this morning. Different districts are kicking off their school year.
Absolutely. So she is at Helotes Elementary, and obviously a lot of excitement there for the kiddos making their way back. And we hear, Jeff, that you have a special guest with you there at Helotes this morning. Good morning.
Oh, yeah, we got the principal of the Bulldogs that we're going to speak with here shortly. But first, before we do that, again, this is one of those situations where we need to hammer home at how much safety is a top priority for the school districts as they go back. Right now, I'm in the security lobby. I had to get through the doors first, but when you get to the security lobby, you have to be let in, of course, go through a whole entrance process. But check this out. I can't even open this door without either being badged in or let in by our awesome principal. Principal Crick is joining us right now. Again, like I mentioned, you know, safety, a huge, huge factor that a lot of parents need that layer of comfort. If you could, what are some of the things that you guys have implemented this school year?
Sure. Well, first of all, we're so thankful that you guys are here spreading the message of public school, go public. We are certainly implementing a lot of safety measures since, you know, the tragedy in Uvalde. We want to make sure all of our kids are safe no matter what school they're in. So the latest addition to our security features in Northside are alarmed doors. So they cannot be propped open. Any door, any exterior door will have an alarm on it that if it's propped will go off after 45 seconds. So it's really a neat feature to alert us that, hey, something's going on here, what's the deal? So we're very thankful. All of our kiddos continue to be safe in Northside.
Yeah, I will say that I am a witness to that because I was actually having a conversation with one of your faculty. The door was left open for a little bit too long and it went off and I was like, oh my gosh, that I set something off. So it's good that that is a system that especially everybody's aware of, to know that if that is propped open for X amount of time, we got to step in and make sure our students are safe. So how many kiddos do we got coming back for Helotes Elementary?
We have just over 300 kiddos this year. We're a cute little small school located here in Helotes, Texas. We call it the best school in Northside, but don't tell the other schools.
I gotcha. And so with the kiddos coming back, you obviously are excited. So what is something that you are most looking forward to this year?
I always look forward to seeing their smiling faces on the first day of school, the excitement that the kids feel. You know, the first day of school compared to the last day of school is drastically different, right? So we're just thrilled for all the learning opportunities that the kids have this year, all the growth that we like to see in our kids. At Helotes, we have a saying, it's personal. And the reason we say it's personal is because we believe in personalized learning for every student. So it's important to all of us that every kid grows to their fullest potential.
All right, it's personal. So you see that the relationships that you guys have with your students, very, very close. For your faculty that are going back, for your students that are coming in the building, as soon as they start making their way in the bus stops and stuff, what words of encouragement you want them to go in? I know a lot of people are going to be probably nervous. A lot of kiddos will be quiet and timid on the first day, but what would you tell them so that they can get out of that shell and enjoy it to the fullest?
I would tell them just to try hard, right? That's our number one. You can do anything, including try. So once you try, it's so much easier to continue trying. And as you know, success is not a straight path. It's all over the place, right? Success leads or comes from failure, truthfully. And so anytime a kid is failing, that means they're trying. Yes. And that's exciting, right? We don't want our kids to fail, but we want our kids to try. And that's number one. So coming in today, on the first day of school, the biggest thing is just to have an open heart and open mind and to try.
Amen. Gotta try. Okay, so as you can see, we're happy, we're pumped. It's a bit peaceful for right now, but pretty soon these halls are going to be filled with a lot of screaming, laughing, and cheering little kiddos, or I should say little bulldogs. So that's here on Northside ISD. Let's go ahead and pass things over to our very own Devin Karp. He is live right now at Southwest Side ISD, getting all the latest with them. So Devin, how are things going your way?
Things are going great, Jeff. We're over here at the bus barn, which is empty of buses. They're all out there picking up the kiddos, getting ready for school, and it's going to be a good year so far. I'm here with Superintendent. Good morning, Dr. Ball. How's it going?
Great. It's going great. This is my favorite day of the year when we welcome our kids back, when we start our school year, so it's exciting.
I was going to say, I feel like I typically have a lot of energy in the mornings, but I think I got nothing with you.
Oh, well, thank you. It's just a wonderful feeling to welcome our students back. We had a huge crowd of our staff here to encourage our bus drivers. Our bus drivers are the first ones to greet our students, so we're super excited.
Awesome. We got the board right over here too, right?
We do, yes. We have amazing board members, so they all joined us to welcome our staff back and to welcome our students.
That's awesome. All right, 2025-26 school year. I know there's probably a lot of families at home starting to get that breakfast in before dropping them off at school for the first day, maybe some sad parents there. What would you say, any advice to the families before they hit the road, the kiddos get in class and get ready to learn again?
I would tell them not to worry. Their child is coming to an excellent environment, not only for learning, but also to keep them safe. So want them to know that even if they don't have breakfast at home, they can have breakfast at school. All our campuses are providing breakfast, so it's a great place to be. Welcome to Southwest ISD.
I love that. Fantastic. Thank you so much for being here with us, letting us be a part of it. Sounds like an awesome celebration. Of course, of course. All right, coming up later on this morning for GMSA, we're going to be over at Meadow Creek Elementary, speaking with some of the educators and kiddos getting back to school about what they're excited for the upcoming school year. But in the meantime, it's a pretty good Monday to start things off right. I'll send it back to y'all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you very much for that, Devin. Of course, we've got the school zones, and we have got the school buses revving up here, ready to go for all of our kiddos out here. So do want to remind some folks about some school zone safety if you're going to be driving by, obviously dropping off some kids later on today. First thing, of course, you definitely want to make sure you stop for all buses that are stopped as well. Make sure to follow, you see those flashing lights right there? Phones, devices are going to be against the law to be used in any school zone area, so just make sure that you do not have your cell phone out. You also want to obey the speed limits. They obviously decrease in school zones, and the fines, though, that increases. That mostly doubles in some situations. We also have drop off and pick up in designated areas. Want to make sure that you follow that, and you definitely want to yield the right of way to all of our pedestrians, not only the kids but also the crossing guards and all the faculty and the staff that are going to be out and about here for our back to school week. Cannot wait to see all those kiddos out there.
All righty, sir, thank you very much. And one quick headline for you here. A man has died this morning after a fiery crash on the north side. Police say that they chased a car going at a high speed and lost them twice. The driver crashed into a stone pillar right in front of Fort Sam Houston and burst into flames. Fort Sam Houston police pulled the driver out of the car, but that driver was pronounced dead there at the scene.
Right outside with live cam, it is 6:41, 79 degrees. That temperature has remained unchanged, but we're starting to get some light on the horizon. You see some of the clouds this morning, traffic beginning to pick up, and we're watching what's going on out in the Atlantic. We could have a tropical depression on our hands soon. We'll show you the forecast for this coming up.
Thank you very much, Justin. While we've been telling you about back to school health, and coming up in just a little bit, we're going to hear from a pediatrician on what parents need to know about student athlete safety. Coming up after the break. 6:45, and we have got alarm clocks going off, phones going off as we get all of our kids getting ready for back to school this morning, Ernest.
Snooze buttons being hit again. Well, we talked to a pediatrician about the health checklist for every family this morning.
We got one more week, so we got to start, sleeping early, practicing getting up early and having fun because it's our last week. So
we met Laura Villalobos at the University Health Pediatrics Clinic at Hebner Commons. Her kids are getting physically and mentally ready for school.
Your second grader must be excited, though.
Yeah, right? She's very excited. She's always been excited about school. Mm-hmm. She not so much.
With the school year starting, a lot of forms have to be filled out. We have to make sure that their kids are healthy and ready to go.
Pediatrician Benjamin Balderman says on top of every family's list is knowing which medications your kids need to take to school and having those refills on hand. But families will have questions beyond the first day.
I really want to just educate them on what to be aware of when their kid is sick. So if they have a cough, a congestion, a fever, it's important to know how to deal with that throughout the school year as well.
Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of death in young athletes. It's very often unrecognized until it happens. Even those kids who may be in tip-top shape need a health check before starting a new sport.
There are some cardiac diseases that don't really present until a kid is full force in the action, and a lot of time they have no previous cardiac history, never had shortness of breath, never had chest pain.
And that's Patty Santos there reporting. So some other things to get the kids ready. Start the bedtime routine tonight if you haven't already. If your family is uninsured and need help finding a clinic, we do have a list of them for you. Just go to KSAT.com.
All right, let's give you an update on the roads right now with your traffic authority. Taking a look at our citywide map here, and you see a little bit of backup for all of our folks coming in from 90 right now. The Castroville area headed into parts of 1604. So let's see if we could kind of zoom in a little bit and see what the situation is along 1604. This is shot here at Braun Road over by Bandera Road. Obviously, we've got Northside ISD starting things up, so expected to see a pretty good amount of traffic along 1604 stretches of Bandera, basically all the way from Leon Valley to parts of Helotes as well. 1604 Bulverde traffic is looking pretty good for all of our folks headed out Northeast ISD. Cannot forget about them over by Madison, Mac, and obviously the Stone Oak area is going to be very busy. And one more shot here on the far west side, 1604 at Potranco, seeing a little bit of backups for all of our drivers coming in right now, trying to get onto 1604 road on the far west side. Let's go to Alex right now and see how things are looking in Drive Cam for us on this back to school Monday. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Well, I just made a loop around downtown, and so far downtown traffic's still looking pretty smooth. Now I'm on I-10 headed westbound near Woodlawn Avenue, and right now I'm not seeing any issues or tracking any major incidents across all our highways, RJ.
All right, thank you very much, Alex, in Drive Cam for us. And let's go to my guy, Justin Horn, who's got the kiddos ready to go here. Bus stop forecasting, all the above, Justin. Good times.
All of it. All of it. We love back to school. At least we do. I don't know about the kids, but yes, it is here. I'm going to start, though, with the Tropics, guys, because we have what could be a tropical depression here developing very soon. It's this cluster of storms right here. And what we're looking at, this is the coast of Africa. This is the Atlantic Ocean. And where you see these reds and oranges, that represents deep thunderstorm activity. And what we look for with a tropical system in order for it to develop is for these thunderstorms to sustain themselves. And if you'll notice, these thunderstorms have been pretty persistent. And as this moves west, it moves into an area where it is likely conducive for development. So let me show you where this is headed. Now, we're going to say this is possible Hurricane Aaron because by most accounts, if you look at the computer models, this is going to develop into at least a tropical storm, if not a hurricane. As it moves west, and it'll probably move due west for a time, then we're going to watch what happens with these two ridges of high pressure. So we got one here, and then the heat high, which is going to be over the Gulf. And the thinking is that this will kind of move up in between them. This heat high will be kind of like a blocker, you know, like in football, and keep it from getting into the Gulf. If that's the case, this will turn and then go out to the Atlantic, and it wouldn't really have an effect on the United States. Now, it's very early on. I don't want to make that claim just yet, but the spaghetti plots are trending in that direction. Things can change, and they often do. We'll keep you posted on this, but as of right now, it's just something we watch out in the open Atlantic. Outside, we've got mostly cloudy skies and humid conditions, 79 degrees at the airport, 74 in New Braunfels, 78 right now in Converse. Your back-to-school forecast today, 95 at 2 o'clock, 98 is your high temperature. Heat index will be 100 plus, and then you probably noticed the 20% rain chance there. It'll be spotty this afternoon, but I do expect some afternoon downpours to develop, mainly, again, between 2 and 8 o'clock. This is 6 o'clock, and it shows some of this activity maybe around dinner time. Could affect the evening commute. If you see anything, it'll be brief, but, you know, wet roads around here can cause some issues. And I think by 8, 9 o'clock, most of this is dying down with another round on the way tomorrow. This is 3 o'clock tomorrow. So we'll put in a 20% chance tomorrow. And really, throughout the rest of the work week, we'll have that opportunity there. It's still hot. Temperatures are still in the upper 90s, which is right at about average or a little bit above. But hopefully we get a cooling shower to mix in there. All right. Our Just Ask Justin question this morning has to do with tropics. We just talked about it. And my question to you, this is kind of a tricky one. A hurricane becomes a typhoon when it reverses its spin, crosses the equator, crosses the international date line, or it strikes Asia. This doesn't happen very often, but a hurricane can technically become a typhoon. Right now, the votes are in for crosses the international date line. What do you guys think?
So the other day, I went against the crowd, the masses, and I paid dearly for it. And so today,
I think that was my fault.
I will go with the peeps and say crosses the international date line.
Okay, ask the audience.
I really want to go with reverses its spin just because I think that'd be kind of a cool weather phenomenon, but I'm going with the audience too. It's the first day of school. I'm sticking with the crowd.
That's a smart move.
Yes.
Yes, it is crosses the international date line. So a tropical system which crosses from the Central Pacific into the Western Pacific, designated by the international date line, goes from being a hurricane to a typhoon. Few systems have ever seen the name change like that, but it has happened, namely with John. And, it's just a naming thing. It doesn't make the system any different. It's a hurricane is a typhoon. They're the same thing. But they do get a different name when they cross the international date line. So there you go.
Okay.
Fascinating. Okay.
Yeah, good stuff.
Learned something new today.
There we go. All right. Thank you very much, Justin. GMSA will be right back.
Plus continues on the free KSAT Plus app. Come see us at the top of the hour.